Hi, and welcome to episode 57 of the Beks Creates podcast. My name is Beks, and I'm coming to you from a sunny, at the moment, Bristol, where I live with my husband Paul and our 2-year-old Jasper. The weather is proper autumn today. It's like sunny and quite warm one minute, then the next minute it's like dark and rainy. So the light's a bit weird, and I've had no idea what to wear all day. And now I'm too hot because I thought it looked cold, so I wore something warmer, and then it was 20 degrees. This is why I don't like autumn, because you don't know what to expect. Give me winter or summer any day of the year. At least you know what to expect. So, not been too long since I was last here. I've got a couple of finished objects to show you, a couple of new works in progress. I've got a couple of acquisitions, but not loads. Obviously my last video was a haul video, so I haven't acquired much since then. But there is something rather lovely which I will share with you. And I have I have 3 nice things to share with you at the end as well. Sorry, my brain is all over the place. It's Thursday today. Normally I work on a Thursday, but this week I swapped my working day till Monday. And so that completely threw me, starting the week with like a rush to get to work and drop Jasper off and all the rest of it. And then I've barely known what day it is since. Jasper's been very much a classic 2-year-old, so he's been quite a handful this week. He's also had a bit of a cold, so I just feel all over the place. I don't know which way's up, what day it is. So, let's hope that spending a bit of time with you guys sorts my brain out a bit. We're also going away tomorrow. It's worked out quite nicely because I've ended up with the day off today, and because it's Thursday, Jasper's gone to his grandparents anyway, so I've had time to go to the gym and pack and do a bit of shopping and just get stuff done. I've been trying to relax though, and I couldn't really relax either. I think I'm always like this before holidays. I just need to pack and get there, and then I can relax. But until I'm there, it's just stress. Honestly, it's supposed to be fun. Anyway, on with the knitting. So my first finished object is a very long-awaited finished object, and it is my iris tank by Along avec Anna. This is my 3rd iris tank, so I would definitely recommend the pattern. I wore this to Wee Flock, as our lovely Ruth from Ruth Loves to Knit would call it, on Saturday, and I had loads of compliments on it. I actually wore it under an open denim shirt, which looked really nice but was too hot. So at least I was getting somewhere out of it before the winter. But I think, yeah, I could continue wearing it a little bit into the autumn, like layered with something. So the yarn, oh, look how drapey it is. It's just gorgeous. The yarn is 50% merino, 50% silk from the Wool Kitchen. The colourway is Champagne Supernova, which is just glorious. It is a zip yarn, so the speckles have come out really well, considering it's not exactly what it's designed for. They're really evenly spaced. It's just gorgeous. I love it so much. This one doesn't have as much positive ease as my other ones, which is good in a way, because some of my other ones are they like pull down a bit at the front, and I end up like this all the time. But I guess it's probably just because the base was different, because I use the same needle size and everything. So I'm guessing because the base was different, the gauge might have been off a bit, but it's absolutely fine. I really like it. I decided to do the ties on the straps because I just thought it was such a pretty one, this one with the colour yarn. I've done 2 with ties and 1 with plain straps now, so mix it up a bit. So yeah, I'm super happy with it. I'm really glad it's off the needles, because it did become a bit of a slog at one point. I've got this tendency, when I finish something, I immediately want to cast on another of the same pattern in a different colour if I've liked it. And it's never a good idea, because the second one becomes a slog because I've only just knit the first one. I need to remember to leave it alone And if I still want to knit another one, come back to it. Which is a good segue into my next finished object, which is, ta-da, the long-awaited camisole number 9 by My Favourite Things Knitwear. It's looking a little creased because it has already been to the Southern Wool Show and WeFlock, so it's been handled a bit. So let's start at the beginning. So the yarn is it was a new this summer base to Bird Street yarn, although they're not going to do it again until sort of next spring summer. It is a merino linen base, and it's just beautiful. It was so lovely to knit with. It doesn't feel linen-y at all. It doesn't have that like crunchiness. As you can see, the drape is gorgeous. Oh yeah, that looks amazing. The colour is very hard to show in this light. That's pretty much it. It's called Latte, so it's just a very sort of pale, sort of beigey, yeah, milky coffee. So it's I'm so thrilled with this. The fit is actually really nice on me, which, you know, I wasn't sort of fully intending it to be, because it's not for me. All my worries about the neck hole and the armholes being too big didn't end up being a problem at all. And I think if I knit it, I'd pretty much do it the same again. I might do it a touch shorter. I'm so pleased with the effect of the double knitted neckline and sort of, not cuffs, I don't really know what you'd call them, armholes, and the turned up hem on the bottom is super neat. What I did find is that the hem at the bottom was flipping up like completely, because it's one of those where you knit a certain amount, purl a row, knit some more, and then it folds where you've done the purled row, and then I think you're supposed to sew it down, but I picked up stitches, knit them together and then bound off as I went round, but it was still flipping really badly. So what I actually ended up doing was, and you probably can't see it, which is really the idea, I ended up then going around and stitching that down so it sat really flat, and then once I blocked it, it was beautiful. So I was really pleased with it. So I will be making one of these for myself, but I have learned my lesson and I didn't cast it on straight away. So very proud of myself. And in fact, the yarn that I had got for it, I realised was much too light. It was sort of a very light fingering weight. So I'll wait and get something else, and something probably more autumn wintry in colour. But yeah, super pleased with it. Really happy that Claire and John can now use this as a sample on the stand, and I would recommend the pattern, but you have to trust the process. Trust me on that one. It is a good pattern when you get there. Okay, bit of water, very dry today. Okay, so works in progress. I'm excited my works in progress at the moment. I'll quickly show you the socks. So this is the 11th pair of socks for my goddaughter for her birthday. I'm making her a 12-day advent of socks. So this is the first one. Sorry, I've left my sock blockers on the back of the door. So the yarn is a Bird Street second. I think it's gingerbread martini, but I may be wrong. I did a short row heel, which went a bit wrong, so I ended up having a hole which I had to sew up, but it's fine, she won't care. So first sock done, cast the second sock on. So that's the start there, and this will probably come with me for a bit of car knitting over the weekend. I am using my absolutely gorgeous leopard print needle stoppers. If you know me well, you will know that I love a bit of leopard print. Leopard is a neutral, and I have loads of leopard print stuff. I was actually teacher in leopard class for how long was it? 6 years. So as you can imagine, I've accumulated a lot, but it's a good job because I love it. Those were from lovely Laura at Beki Yarns, as was my very cool dinosaur sock bag, which I love. Love, love, love. Okay, so that's that one. Oh, I can't even decide which one to show you first. They're both too exciting. Okay, let's do this one. So in my original Moth and Found bag, I have got a knit along that I am doing with Fran from Franny Do Makes. So if you've watched Fran's podcast already, she's already shown hers. So we started this on the 6th of September. It's the 18th today. And we are knitting the Primrose Slipover by Along Avec Anna. So that's the pattern picture. So as you can see, it's sort of just a front and back panel with a tie on the side. Claire has one of these as a shop sample. I've tried it on and I really love it. So really wanted to make one. Fran mentioned she wanted to make one, so we decided to do it as a September knit along together. And it's interesting because I always thought Fran was quite a quick knitter like me, and we have both kept a similar kind of pace on this. We've been, you know, very close most of the way through, and I've been knitting on other things. I haven't knit monogamously on it particularly, partially because of the colour. So let me show you it before I waffle on anymore. So that's upside down. That's the back panel. So far I have knit the back panel and the rib, and then I have picked up for the front and knit the two sides and then joined together for the neck hole. So that's where I am. The colour is Deepest by Bird Street Yarn, and I am using the gorgeous alpaca silk cashmere base. That is darker, that's it there. And the baby Surrey alpaca, and what is it? Oh God, Deepest Cloud. So it's baby Surrey alpaca, mulberry silk lace, and yeah, the alpaca silk cashmere. So these are the labels if you're interested. These are my two favourite Bird Street bases by a mile. You can see the lovely sheen on this. It's just so soft, the halo. Oh, it's just gorgeous. This is going to be the coziest autumn knit. So yeah, now I am motoring down the body, which actually the back was much quicker than I thought, because when you read the amount you've got to do and it's like back and forth in stocking stitch, you're like, it's going to take ages, but actually it was quite quick. So yeah, so I shall carry on with that. I think this is going to be my holiday knitting too. And then when I've done the front panel, I pick up a knit. It's a double knit collar, which will look really nice, I think. And then the two little double knit ties on the side. So refreshing to know that I don't have to do sleeves, although things I've just shown you didn't have sleeves either. The pickup on the shoulders, I was really pleased with it. It was really neat. There's short rows in the back and in the front here. They were all really nice and quick and easy, German short rows. So yeah, it's been a lovely knit so far. Again, definitely one I'd make again. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm going to wear it loads. So, that's that one. And then, my other whip is another, so I'm still in sort of this sort of shape, like short sleeves. I run really hot at the moment, so I'm not ready for like heavy jumpers, but I am going like short sleeve but with fluff. So I'm easing into autumn winter. So this one is the Rigmore Tee by Petite Knit. So let me find, here's the pattern picture. So it's this really sweet cropped, well, is it cropped? No, it's not cropped. Little short jumper with short sleeves, but it is held double with a fluff so that it's a bit cozier. So I ummed and ahed over the yarn for this so much. So I had this Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino, which I bought at the Oxford Yarn Store a little while back, in the colourway Blueberry Ice Cream, which is just too cute. And that is pretty good colour there. It's hard to see, it's weirdly dark. There we go. And I bought 3 balls of this, 350-gram balls, which is 750 metres. But I didn't really realise until I really sat down and properly worked out when I got home that this is actually much finer than a fingering weight. It's like a light fingering. It's 500 metres to 100 grams. So yeah, I wasn't going to get a fingering weight gauge with it. So I decided to use it for something where I held it double. So at first I was going all around the Southern Wool Show trying to find something that matched, and I didn't have it with me, so I couldn't find the right colour, blah, 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 you know, usual. And I bought some white mohair and I swatched. Have I still got that swatch in here somewhere? No. So I swatched with the white and I wasn't happy with it. So I went onto Wool Warehouse and I found this fluff, which ended up being absolutely perfect. So I was holding those two together, and then I thought, oh, you know what, I might as well make my life, you know, really complicated. So I threw in some of this as well, which is the Rico Creative Make It Bloomshin, which is like tiny little flower sequins, which are just too cute, and I thought would look gorgeous in this. And when I knit the swatch, I was like, I absolutely have to use them, they're gorgeous. So this is where I'm up to so far. It's knit bottom up, which I didn't realise when I chose the pattern, but going with it. I'm not letting it put me off. So I've done the rib, and then I'm onto the pattern. The pattern's really lovely and easy. It's charted and written, but to be honest, you only really need to use it on the rows where you're doing the eyelets. There's lots of just plain knit rows, and the eyelet rows are sort of very intuitive anyway and quite easy to memorize. So it's a nice easy pattern. I think I only have to do 4 repeats of that before I decrease for the raglan, so should go nice and quickly. I think I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, I think they're picking up on camera a bit, the sequins, but they just look so sweet. They're so tiny, so it's not like overly sparkly, but it's just really, really pretty. So I'm very happy with that. Now, the only thing, and I know I've heard other podcasters talk about this, is that petite knit patterns don't often have, well, not in my experience, have a schematic. And she was talking about like the length the finished top would be, and I was like, well, where's that from? Is that from like the middle? Is that from the shoulder? Is that from the like separation for the sleeves? So I'm a bit worried it's going to be too long, but I'm just going to have to see, aren't I guess. That's the back of it. It does look so pretty, and I like that the sleeves are a little bit longer, sort of nearer elbow length, so a little bit more autumnal. I just think it's really cute though, and I'm really enjoying knitting that. I think I got gauge a needle size up, which is usual for me. Well, this pattern is all over the place. Oh, I haven't written it on here, I've written it in my book, but I'm trying to be better again at starting to keep some notes. I used to keep like a lovely journal of all washi tapes, and you know, I don't have time for that anymore, but I need to write these things down, because I do often knit the same pattern twice, or I often knit the same yarn bases because I knit with a lot of Bird Street. So like, I thought if I have these things written down in a book, if I'm doing a sweater that's, say, you know, the Bird Street ASC and the Bird Street alpaca fluff, then I've already got a record of what needles I can get gauge with in my book. So I don't necessarily have to swatch every time. So I am trying to be much better at keeping notes, but we'll see how that goes. I'm not doing copious amounts of notes. I am just recording the gauge that I've got, the gauge that was required, the needle size, the yarn, like the base more than the colour, and the size I'm knitting in the pattern. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it will be helpful, because I definitely am in a real garment phase this year, which is not like me. I've hardly knit any socks all year, so I'm really enjoying it. It's nice. So that's my 3 whips. So then let's move on to acquisitions. Just a quick one. So I showed you last time this yarn, which it's not that colour at all, and they look different in that light. This is the lace weight yarn that I'm planning to use for the Traveller Shell by Andrea Mowry. And after she watched that podcast, Claire messaged me and said, I've got 2 skeins of fluff that I think will go with your yarn. So she gave me these 2, which should be perfect. I think this is their tart colourway on the alpaca silk cloud base. So yeah, I think that would be really lovely. So that will probably be one of my next cast-ons when one of those is finished, because it's another like short sleeve one, so it's sort of autumn rather than winter. I'm trying to prioritise a little. Okay, and then last week I got a follower request on Instagram from this Lizzie Sews, who lots of you might have heard of, because Ali talks about her a lot on Little Drops of Wonderful, and I've seen several other podcasters with her bags. And when Lizzie followed me, I was like, oh, I didn't know, like, I've heard of Lizzie loads of times. I hadn't thought to look for her on Instagram. So I followed her back, and when I looked, I found out she was a fellow Bristolian. So I messaged her and said, you know, I've seen those your bags, they look amazing. And, you know, didn't realise you're in Bristol. And she messaged me back saying that she'd watched the podcast for ages. Hi, Lizzie, by the way. And that she would like to send me a bag, which was so super kind. So a few days later in the post arrived this bag, which is just gorgeous. I'll show you in a minute. And excitingly, I then met Lizzie in person on Saturday at Wee Flock. So it was really lovely to sort of connect and then meet each other straight away. I could have saved her postage, really. She could have bought it with her. So Lizzie's bags are unique in that she puts in a wire frame at the top so that they stay open. This is such a lovely size bag. It's got like it really is quite big, considering it's sort of compact, doesn't take up loads of room. It's really beautifully made, like really brilliantly so. Not that I'm an expert, but I can just tell it's quality. I've got a little toadstool key ring on, what's it called? Progress keeper, brain. There's Lizzie's card there, and her details. Is that focusing? She is this Lizzie Sews on Instagram, so she's definitely worth a follow. She's got a gorgeous little tag on there. There's a little D-ring on the back to hang bits and pieces on. She also popped in, oh, that might focus better. I'll hide her address just in case, but there are her social media addresses. And she popped in these really cute stickers that say, I turn strings into things. If I'm sitting, I'm knitting, and a little rainbow, which is so cute. So stick those on my notebook, I think. So yeah, thank you so much, Lizzie. I have since seen that Lizzie has done one of these bags in leopard print fabric. So I think that might have to go on my birthday list, because it's only just over a month till my birthday. So I think that might have to go on my list. Yeah, absolutely love it. I think it's so cute. It's so different. Oh, it's even got different fabric on the bottom, which is very sweet. Yeah, I just love it. Thank you so much, Lizzie. It's just so kind, and really still blows me away when people give me gifts. Because I'm just grateful that you're all here watching. So, finally, I will share my 3 nice things. So, my first one is God, I'm trying to remember now. My first one is autumn TV. So, for a few months now, I've been really struggling to find anything I wanted to watch on TV, and I've just been watching Grey's Anatomy again, which is never a problem, but, you know, I was kind of craving something a bit new, and it's always nice this time of year when, like, all the good new series come out. So I've just finished watching The Sewing Bee, which I won't give any spoilers, but I was very happy with the result, and I thought the final was really great. I've just started watching The Great British Bake Off, which I love, and it's good this year. There's sort of not one particular standout person, and they're all quite a good standard, so I think it's going to be a really good year. What else have I been watching? So I blanked now that I've said this to you. We recently got Netflix back after not having it for a few years because we weren't watching loads of stuff on it, so we had a break. But then the Thursday Murder Club was released on Netflix, so we got it so we could watch that because we both read all the books and loved them. So we watched the film, really enjoyed that, and then we've just been enjoying having Netflix. So I caught up on series 3 of Bridgerton because I hadn't watched that because we didn't have it, and loved it. I watched the whole series in about a week, I think, and I can't wait for the new one. We've watched quite a lot of true crime stuff on there. Some quite crazy stuff. I'm just starting a rewatch of Gilmore Girls just because it's that time of year. We're excited for Celebrity Traitors and Celebrity Race Across the World. I've heard a few releases of the couples that are doing Celebrity Race Across the World soon, and that's exciting. So I'm enjoying the cozy TV you can get your teeth into. So that's my first nice thing. My second nice thing is a recipe which I got online, and it is from Jane's Patisserie, who I believe I've possibly spoken about before. I can't remember. She's definitely one of my go-to people for baking. Her cookies are amazing, but the recipe that I've been a bit addicted to the last few weeks is her chocolate button shortbread, which is supposed to be like a bit of a take on the Marx's chocolate button shortbread, which they're doing at the moment, which I've had, and they are nice, but they are a little bit soft and a bit claggy for my liking. So this recipe is great because it's got like a lovely crunch, whether that's just me cooking it a bit too much, but I love them. I've made several batches. I took a batch to WeFlock on Saturday and they all went, so hopefully let me know in the comments if you were there and you had one. Hopefully people enjoyed them. So yeah, I'd recommend that recipe. So it's Jane's Patisserie. She's got an amazing website, and then just search for chocolate button shortbread. So that's my second favourite thing. My third favourite thing of the moment is Vinted. So if you're not in the UK, I don't know if you have Vinted or not, but Vinted is just a buying and selling platform, bit like eBay, but much easier to use and has so much more stuff on it. It's really quick and easy to upload stuff if you're selling it. You've got lots of protection so that if something goes missing in the post, it's all sorted quite quickly and you're compensated for it. And the buyer always pays delivery, so you don't have to worry about any of that. So it's really good. So I've been selling quite a lot of stuff. We've just been trying to clear out all sorts of things. We've gotten rid of lots of baby clothes and all sorts of baby bits. And I've gotten rid of just some of my clothes and just random things I found around the house, really, like anything. I've been putting all sorts on there thinking, oh, that won't sell, and it does. So that's been really good. And I've made several £100s in the last couple of months, which has been great because I've been able to buy some new like autumn clothes for Jasper and for myself. I've bought birthday presents and Christmas presents. There's so much new with tags on there, so I'm trying where I can to get Christmas presents on there this year, and this time of year is a busy time for birthdays in Paul's family, so it's a good time of year to try and save money if I can. So and of course if I buy it on there, then it's probably being saved from landfill as well. So makes me feel a bit better than just buying more and more new stuff. So yeah, bit addicted to Vinted at the moment, but I swear to God, there is nothing you can't find on there. There is yarn, there are project bags. I've found all manner of knitting things on there. In fact, this morning I grabbed a bargain, which was a book I saw recommended called The Knitting Bag of Tricks by Patty Lyons. Apparently it's really good, even for an experienced knitter. There are some tips in there that are super helpful, and I found a copy of that on there for £3 this morning when it's about 15 on Amazon. So bargain. Very excited for that to arrive. So those are my 3 nice things for today. I better go because I have more packing to do, more organising. But it's been lovely to spend a bit of time with you. Happy knitting until the next time I see you. Take care. Bye.